Hello, European Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. The following confession comes from a message that I received on Facebook. Then I asked one of our admins to give us a translation. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? I am a long-distance truck driver. Brother, I have a confession. What happened is that I was forced to cast a spell on my wife so that she won't look at other men and so that she can only look at me. The reason why I had to cast a spell on my wife, it is because as a long-distance truck driver, most of the times I was working far away from my wife and far from home, so I didn't want my wife to look at other men. I wanted my wife to only look at me. Truly speaking, there is no man out there who want his wife to cheat on him, so we had to put a security in place. My whole story started when one day we had traveled as a convoy. Then when we were at the border post, we were waiting for our trucks to get a clearance. As men who were traveling in a group, we started having all kinds of discussions until one truck driver raised a question and he was like, guys, we all know that we are truck drivers and most of the times we are not with our families. So how do we know that back home our wives right now, as we are here cold at night at the border, maybe our wives are in bed feeling warm with their boyfriends in our homes? That guy was like, even right now, if your wife scolds you, she can actually hear the sound of the truck moving and she will know that there are no chances that you can turn around and come back home. So she can enjoy with your boyfriend until you come back. So there is no way that we can catch our wives cheating on us. That is when we got the idea of casting a spell on our wives. Already at the depot where we used to go and offload, there was a guy who was working as a security guard. That guy was claiming to be a traditional healer. So we went to Zambia on another trip. First, we spoke with that guy and he said we should not worry. The next time that we were going to return to Zambia, he was going to sort everything for us, like the herbs and everything. So we returned to South Africa, then we loaded Millie Mill and we headed again for Zambia. When we arrived at that depot, that traditional healer, that guy who was a security guard who was claiming to be a traditional healer, he had already prepared the medicine for us. The way that he explained the medicine that he had prepared for us, that Zambian security guard said to us he had personally collected the oil that he was giving us to drink. He said, this oil that you are going to drink, it comes from the dogs when they are mating. He said to us he had personally collected that oil. He said that time when the dogs are mating, they lock into each other, but the time that they release, there is some liquid that falls to the ground, and he took that liquid that he had gathered when he had found the dogs mating and mixed it with oil and the herbs. He gave us the mixture to drink. But as we were drinking, the herbs were so disgusting. I wanted to vomit. But he said to us, you have to be strong. Think of your wives that you have left behind. Think of this mixture as the only way that can stop your wives from cheating on you. So we gathered all the strength. Then we drank that disgusting mixture of herbs that he had given to us. So all along, my wife had a tendency of always being on her phone. Whenever I'll travel back to my wife, she will be always on WhatsApp talking with her friends. She would ask our older kids to prepare the bathing water for me while she will be busy with her makeup. My kids will do everything in the house whilst she will be doing her nails, doing her hair. She won't even notice that I am around the house. She will pretend as if I don't even exist. But as soon as I drank this disgusting herbal mixture, my wife's behavior totally changed and she started showing me a lot of respect. Then there was this other time that I was traveling to Zambia, but I was traveling alone. There was a lot that I was supposed to go there and deliver it there. So when I arrived at the depot in Zambia, I saw that security guard. Since I was alone, me and him, we were just having a casual talk. Then he said to me, "Did that herbal mixture that I gave you work?" And I thanked him and I said, "Yes, that herbal mixture that you gave me, indeed it worked." And he said to me, "Do you want to be rich? Because I know more herbs that can make you rich overnight. Don't you want to be rich?" I posed that question in my mind when he had asked me, "Do you want to be rich?" Then I remembered that this guy, he had given me a herbal mixture that had turned my wife's behavior around. My wife was a stubborn wife, but now she was a submissive wife. So I looked back at that security guard and I asked him, "How do you want to make me rich?" And he said that, "I have this horn can make you rich." So when this security guard said to me that he had a horn that could make me rich, then I said, "Oh no, this guy, maybe he wants to use me as a smuggling syndicate so that I can smuggle this rhino horn from Zambia maybe to South Africa," thinking that maybe he had already organized some buyers in South Africa. And on my side, I was not willing to take that risk, because this job that I was having, it was taking care of me, my kids, and my family. Then he said to me, "No, it is not a rhino horn, but it is a traditional horn. This horn has been used for many, many centuries. This horn, once you have it in your hands, it can make you so rich, so much rich that you forget that you have ever been poor in your life." Then he said to me, "This horn, it is like a living entity. This horn works with chicken blood though. That is the only condition. You cannot accept this horn. If you accept this horn, you have to know that since it is a living entity, you have to feed it and it survives on blood. The simplest blood that you can get for cheap, it is chicken blood." Then he said to me, "As someone who will be in possession of this entity that is residing inside this horn, you have to feed this horn with chicken blood constantly." And he said to me that the second rule is that you have to sleep with your wife, because the spirit that is residing in this horn, it is a pure spirit. It won't allow you to have sexual intercourse with more than one woman. But the problem was that when he told me the second rule that I had to follow for the rest of my life, I had already accepted this one. And that is when he told me about not sleeping with different women, only sleeping with one woman. The problem is that I have two families. My second wife is a secret that I have been keeping from my first wife. And with my second wife, we have two kids. All of this is a secret. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to keep this second rule, because what I used to do is that whenever I am coming from delivering a load, before I go and visit my first wife, I go and visit my second wife. All of this, I do it in secret. My first wife doesn't know. I have this horn now because after I had accepted the horn, even though when I told him, "I cannot accept this horn, since you said that the entity that is residing inside this horn, it is a pure spirit and it won't accept someone who is having multiple relationships. I have two wives. What are we going to do about it?" Then he said to me, "It is your duty to find out what you are going to do about it. I cannot accept that one back from you, because the rules are that if I have given someone this one, I can never accept it back." So I blame my wife. She is the reason why I ended up consulting with a witch doctor, because I am someone who never thought that I'll end up consulting traditional healers and witch doctors. but because of my wife's stubbornness. She is the reason why I ended up casting a spell on her. She is the reason why I ended up getting this horn. As I said before, my wife's job back in the day, it was to bath, and to bath, watch TV, and do her expensive makeup. To her, she didn't even take the time to think that a man works day and night being a driver, not an ordinary driver, but a long-distance truck driver, for her to survive, for her to buy that expensive makeup. No, she only thought about her. Now what troubles me is that this horn, it needs blood. Recently, I've been thinking of telling my wife because she understands me better. I've been thinking of telling her that I am now involved in this ritual stuff. I am actually thinking of showing her this horn so that she can understand my situation. But the problem is that this thing needs blood, and I've been thinking, what if I'll be traveling in another country, then the blood finishes? What is going to happen to me? That security guard said to me, it is not a problem. All you have to do is make sure that whenever you are traveling in your truck, always keep a live chicken with you, so that when that horn requires blood from you, you can slaughter that chicken, then you can pour blood into that horn. But I am afraid, what if I am not allowed to enter into another country when I am having a chicken in my truck? What would I do? Because I won't be able to put blood in the horn. The horn is already alive. Whenever I look at that horn, I can see that this horn, it is breathing and it is alive. And that security guard said to me, if first I slaughter a black chicken and I pour the blood from that black chicken that I would have slaughtered into that horn, I do not have to change and put the blood from a white chicken that I would have slaughtered. I have to remember what kind of a chicken that I would have first used when I'll be pouring blood into that horn for the rest of my life. So as I was leaving that depot in Zambia, I asked that security guard, I said to him, how long should I put blood in this horn? And for how long will the blood last after I had poured blood into this horn? And he said to me, I don't know. It is a living thing. Can you ask a living man, how long can you go before you have your next meal? Isn't it that when you are hungry, your stomach will tell you that you are hungry? So this horn, when it is hungry, it will tell you. If I say that you are going to be pouring blood into that horn once a month, I'll be lying to you. He said, the first 3 months, you have to travel with live chickens in your truck. On the 4th month, he said that you will be rich. You will be having multiple trucks. You would actually forget that you were ever poor. Brother Nashi, that's what is happening to me right now. But I blame my wife. She is the reason why I had to go and consult a witch doctor. If she had not been stubborn, I would have never consulted a witch doctor. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from Anonymous. Please let us talk about this issue in the comment section.